Hey sports fans, welcome back to the Phoolish Show. Just wanted to talk today a little bit about Steve Yzerman becoming the new GM of the Detroit Red Wings and what it kind of means for the Red Wings. First off, I think it's a great move. I have grown tired, very weary of Ken Holland and his long contracts he's given out, which basically have just burned the Wings, giving way too many years and too much money to players that didn't really deserve it. Obviously, you can look at Franzen. He got concussed. He got paid for multiple years. You have other ones just along the line where he just gives role players long contracts, and it just didn't work out well at all. And Ken Holland did really good with the Wings when there was no salary cap. Once the salary cap came into the NHL, he did okay for a couple years, but then it's really tailed off. And honestly, I think the Wings' goal was make the playoffs, not be a really good team. And you kind of saw that when they were going for their streak, and it was all about getting to the playoffs and keeping that, whatever it was in the 20s, I think. It's like, it wasn't about winning cups anymore. It was like, make the playoffs. And true, to be fair, you want to make the playoffs, but you want to have a good team. Like, well, look at the Pistons, for example. They made the playoffs. Oh, well, they're getting obliterated, right? So it's not just about making the playoffs. You want to have a good team. So I think, for one, it's really good that you get rid of Ken Holland. Move on. Sure, he stays in the organization, but he's not GM. Secondly, this is really big. In the press conference, Yzerman talked about, how this is just the beginning. You're going to have time. When you look at his role in Tampa, I think it took 5 years for him to go from taking over as GM to them getting to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think it was 5 years. And so it's going to kind of temper the Red Wing fan base. It's like, okay, I'm going to give the Red Wings more time. Why? They have Yzerman as the GM now. If it was someone else, someone that didn't have the fame, the glory of winning the Stanley Cups, I don't think you would have the same time frame. But it's Yzerman. You're going to give him a longer leash. You kind of see that in other sports where icon legends are hired as coaches and they get longer leashes. I don't know if Yzerman's already done it, so I have confidence. But you just look in the NBA where Magic Johnson couldn't handle it as the Lakers GM, and he quit, right? He just couldn't handle it. He wanted to be Magic Johnson, the superstar. He didn't want to be Magic Johnson, the GM. Yzerman's worked on his way on this already. He's worked his way up. He was already in the Wings organization after he retired. Then when Ken Holland wasn't moving yet, he took the job in Tampa. So Yzerman has a track record of success. So that second reason, it gives the fan base a longer leash for the GM, right? They're not going to be like crying for the GM's head and the coach's head as quickly because it's Yzerman. A third key here is that Yzerman was fully behind Jeff Blashill as the coach. I like Blashill. I think he did a great job in Grand Rapids with the Griffins, developing talent, and now you can see that talent coming out on the Wings roster with Athanasiou, Larkin, Mantha, Bertuzzi. You see these young players develop. The Wings just have to draft some defensemen and get some defense going. They have good offense, they just do not have defense. That's where GM Yzerman can come in and hopefully build through the draft, because I don't know how much they're going to be able to trade, but they have a lot of draft picks, and hopefully they can get some good players. So, overall, I think Yzerman coming to the Wings is a great move. Again, it's kind of bringing back a core hero, right? Bring it back, stabilize the fan base, gives the organization a longer leash to get things right. I think it's a great move. It really is. And you know what? It's kind of like when you would have the Tigers when they brought Alan Trammell back as the coach, or like Bill Laimbeer coming back a little bit with the Pistons. He came back a little bit. He wasn't coach, but he came back and was doing a little bit, unless my memory's off. But you bring back the stars, right? You bring back the stars, and it gives the fans a little bit more patience with their organization, and that's what this move with Yzerman does. That's second most. First off, he's a great GM. I'm very happy to have him back with Detroit. That kind of the cards were there because his family didn't move to Tampa Bay. They stayed around the Detroit area. So all signs were pointing, he's probably going to come back to Detroit, and I'm glad he is back in Detroit. Hey, just my quick thoughts on Steve Yzerman becoming the new GM of the Detroit Red Wings. Hopefully he can return the team to glory, lead them, draft great players, make good trades, don't do stupid contracts. Yeah. I tell you what, Ken Holland just really tanked the last couple years. Well, that's why Wings are moving on from him. Alright, let me know your opinions. Are you happy with the Yzerman hire? What do you think it would mean for the Red Wings? Is it going to do anything, or is it just going to be like, another floundering team that just can't find its footing? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.